Welcome to my very first actual play video. My name is Roosevelt Cooper from Golden Acacia Gaming, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can use the Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd edition to play your favorite tabletop role-playing game either solo or with a group without needing a game master. In this particular video, I'm going to be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and the character that I'm going to be playing is named Kashta Napata. He is a male human paladin at level 1, and just to give you an idea of his background, he's a knight. He currently has 3 retainers that serve him. One of his retainers is a lady who is a skilled healer and strategist, known for her wisdom and compassionate nature. Her name is Lady Seraphina Locke. His second retainer is Sir Iman Voss. He's a seasoned warrior with a strong sense of duty and a deep loyalty to Kashta. And then the last retainer is Squire Elron Kale. He's a young and eager squire who looks up to Kashta and aspires to become a knight under his guidance. So these retainers, they will not be going on adventures with Kashta, but they will be around in the general area that he'll be at. So for instance, if he has a town that he's going to be in, they will basically stay in the inn that he rents out, and they'll stay with him. And then as far as his adventuring party goes, I have 3 sidekicks that will be joining him. One is a elf mage by the name of Ada Fensaler. The second one is a dwarf healer by the name of Jodan Bone Miner. And the last one is a halfling expert by the name of Merrick Lightbloom. So those are going to be the sidekicks that are going to be going on adventures with him. And so with the Mythic GM Emulator, one of the first things that you need to do is generate your very first scene. There's several ways that you can go about generating a first scene. I'll probably do a future video going over each of these ways. But for the purpose of this adventure, I'm going to be going with the inspired idea. So the inspired idea, you basically come up with your own idea as far as how you want to generate the scene. And for this particular idea, Kashta is going to arrive into town, and he's going to be visiting an inn called the North Shield House. And he's going to attempt to rent a room, and when he arrives at the inn, he's going to be approached by an adventuring party, which is going to consist of the sidekicks, who are going to recruit him to go on an adventure with them. So once you have your inspired idea for the first scene, you can proceed with playing out the adventure. So when you're playing out the adventure, you just basically make whatever assumptions you want to make with the scene. But then if you have questions about any particular thing that's happening, you can roll on the fate chart and ask your question and see what the fate chart will say about your particular situation. All right, so let's kick off the first scene. Kashta arrives into town and visits the North Shield Inn. He arrives in the inn. So my first question is Kashta approached by the innkeeper? So I'm going to go ahead and roll. That is going to be a D100. We start off with a chaos factor of 5. So everything's going to be pretty much even at this point. As far as is he approached by the innkeeper, I'm going to say that's very likely. So let's go ahead and roll. All right, so we get a 25. So that is a yes. So the innkeeper approaches Kashta, and Kashta is sitting at a table, and the innkeeper asks Kashta, how may he help? And Kashta orders a mug of ale and orders whatever the special is for dinner tonight. The innkeeper says right away, I'll get that taken care of for you. And then the innkeeper goes to prepare the order. Sitting at a nearby table, there are 3 adventurers. The first is an elf mage, the second is a dwarf healer, and the third is a halfling expert. So my next question is, do the adventurers approach Kashta? And I'm going to say that's likely. So let's roll. We got a 9. So that's an exceptional yes. So they're absolutely going to approach Kashta. I would say exceptional yes means that they are very excited when they approach. So let's say the elf mage shouts out, "Hey there, you big strapping lad. You look new to town. We don't recognize you." And Kashta responds, "Yes, I am new to town. How can I help you?" And so the elf mage says, "We're actually looking for a nice strapping young man such as yourself. We have been made aware that there are bandits that have been terrorizing people coming to and from the village. And we want to get together a group to go and deal with these bandits. However, we're looking for someone with a little bit more muscle like yourself. Is that something that you'd be interested in?" So Kashta responds, "Why, yes, absolutely. Bandits must be brought to justice. And I would be more than happy to help you bring these wicked evildoers to justice." So then Dwarf is like, "That sounds great. Yeah, let's bring them to justice." And then so the halfling expert says, "Yeah, and we can probably get some gold out of this as well." So then the mage says, "All right, so why don't you meet us back here tomorrow morning, and then we will head on out and try to find these bandits." Kashta agrees and says, "Why, yes, I will absolutely do so. Just let me get a room checked in and get my retainers situated, get a nice good night's sleep because I've been traveling for a long way, and then we will go ahead and deal with these bandits." All right, so Kashta has agreed to join this group and to go ahead and deal with the bandits. The innkeeper brings his food and drink. He has his meal for the evening, and then he requests a room. The innkeeper rents him a room for 5 gold pieces. So he's going to go ahead and deduct that from his inventory. So right now he has 25 gold pieces. He is going to deduct 5 for the room. And so now he's down to 20 gold pieces. Room will be large enough to fit him and his 3 retainers. So he is going to check in the room and get a good night's sleep. So we've gone ahead and played out the first scene. Kashta was successfully able to be approached by the party and now has his first adventure. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add to the threads list the new adventure that he has agreed to, and we'll call it Find Bandits. So that's going to be the new thread. Characters list, we're going to have the three sidekicks, Ada, Jodam, and Merrick. And then we're going to also have his three retainers, Lady Seraphina, Sir Iman, and Squire Elron. So that makes up the threads list and the characters list. This will become useful when we go into future scenes, because the first scene is an inspired scene, so it basically goes as we expect it, but future scenes might not go as we expect it, and so it may pull on this threads list or this character list to determine what happens in the future scenes. The chaos factor, we're going to go ahead and reduce that from 5 to 4, because the chaos factor is either reduced if the character was in control for the scene, and I would say that the character was definitely in control for that scene, so we're going to go ahead and reduce the chaos factor to 4. And then we're going to have a scene summary. We'll basically say Kashta arrives into town and visits the North Shield house. He rents a room, and it is here that he is approached by an adventuring party consisting of Ada, Jodam, and Merrick, looking to recruit him to find the bandits and bring them to justice. So that concludes the very first scene.